Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I made a few of my samples. I'm going to give you some tips and give you some stuff that I personally do, and hopefully it applies to you. Hopefully you can learn from it. And yeah, let's get straight into it. Before we go though, I need to go get some snacks at the gas station, so we're going to make a quick trip, then we'll come back.
Shawty, you know everything I do is just for us. And even when I got it all, you know that you enough. You know that all I want from you is just a little trust. Shawty, you know that everything I want is just some love. I just only want some.
Alright, I'm gonna be right back. Don't let nobody steal the whip.
Yeah, I just only want some love. Yeah, only want some love. Yeah, shawty, you know everything I do is just for us. And only want some love. Yeah,
I just only want some love. Yeah, only want some love. Yeah, I just only want some love. Yeah, only want some love.
We're gonna go ahead and find a few samples, and I'm gonna break them down, show you guys what I did, why I did it, all of that. So let's go ahead and we're gonna start with the first one. All right. Yo, my PC already about to die. You saw how it went to 90. All right, so my desktop audio wasn't recording the whole time I did that video. I'm just gonna skim through basically what I did. All right, so this is what Frankie originally sent me. He sent me a guitar loop, and this is what it sounds like. So what I did was I started out with this piano, right? I started with these bass notes right here, super simple, and this is what it sounds like when I played it on top of the guitar. Super simple, and it's really just an Omnisphere keyscape piano with the timbre put down, the custom rich ballad, put down the timbre to like 350 something, and then I added these chords on top, and I'm really just trying to practice using the MIDI keyboard, so I just did all this stuff live. Then I added these top notes right here, the little B's, and I just add some little variation, and it's just clean. So I put that in the second half because that's the simpler version. And then after that, I decided to add a little freestyle top melody, and this is what I came up with. So that's it for the piano, and then I added these vocals that I was kind of messing with, but kind of not. That's what it sounds like at its original pitch. It's cool, it's not bad. I just didn't want it to be the main attention, so I turned it down a lot. I'm not gonna show you guys the exact like presets I used for my effects because it doesn't really matter in the end. All you need to know is like the general effect that I use, which I'll tell you for most of them, and the rest is really up to you to experiment. That's what's gonna build your sound. It's gonna be how you like things to sound. So just go ahead and experiment. This is where you're supposed to go outside the box and really just like build your sound, build what you like to hear. So all I did was add these to mixer tracks and just EQ a bunch and add some reverb to the vocals. And if you want to know how to do vocals for your own samples, I can do like a more in-depth tutorial in the future. Summarized up, all you have to do to add your vocals to a sample is go to this drop down bar on any of the mixer tracks. It could be any of them, and then you go to this drop down bar and then you click whatever your mic is. Mine's N1, N2, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just find your mic on there, select it. You're gonna hear yourself. And then you just add auto-tune, make sure it's in key, and then you just add whatever other effects you want to do with it, and that's really just how you add stuff to it. There's really nothing, it's nothing else. So I added that, and I added a second vocal, and this is what that sounds like. And it really just sounds like I'm on a walkie-talkie in a shower just singing, bro. Like I really just EQ'd a lot of it out and added some reverb, and this is what it sounds like all together. Adds a super cool texture. So for these last two sounds, I basically took what sounds we already made, and then I just put a bunch of effects on them, like weird different effects like phaser, flanges, and different stuff like that, and put effects on it and then rendered it out. So this is the piano with a bunch of effects on it. This is what it sounds like. It's just a texture. It's not really supposed to be a melody, but you'll see what it adds to the sounds whenever I play it all together. This is the other texture that I did. I did the exact same thing as the first. I just recorded the piano out, except I used different effects this time, and I made it sound kind of like it's underwater type of sound. So this is what this sounds like. And yeah, this is what it sounds like all together. It's just crazy. That joint beautiful. God dang. Alright, so yeah, that's basically it for this sample. My tip would be to just try different effects out. Make sure you're leaving space for everything. And look how I did everything here. I panned a bunch of things left and right so everything had space. A lot of EQs so everything had space. What I really like to do for my samples, especially if there's a piano in there, I love to just have the freestyle melody in the beginning. So it's the super complicated version like this, or more complicated, I guess. And then I add another pattern and make it unique, and then I take away the top melody, so it's just the chords and it's way more simple, like for the verse. Just so you don't have constant piano notes playing all the time. Let's go on to the next one. Also, make sure you go get Vegan and I's new one-shot kit. We're gonna be sending out the expansions early next month, I think on the 7th, so get ready for that. And to get those, all you have to do is email this email and put it on the screen with a receipt, proof of purchase, and we'll send it to you. All right, so this is another one. This is what Frankie sent me. And this one already has a vibe on its own. Like, I didn't want to go too crazy and add a bunch of stuff, so I literally just started with this vocal idea, and this is what it sounds like. Fire. And then I just made a second version and made it lower pitched. It's super quiet though, so you can't really hear it. And this is what it sounds like together. And that's using the tactic that I showed you guys earlier, where I legit just add your mic to one of the mixer tracks, EQ, put the auto-tune on, add a little bit of EQ and reverb, and you're good. So this is an important tip for if you're ever collaborating on a sample with anybody. You want to make sure that you put all of the elements like in the beginning, and then you want to structure it out to where the elements kind of thin out. So you want everything in the beginning. You see how he's playing everything here, and then here he's playing less, just strumming, and then he has the solo elements right here. This is important so that way whoever you're collaborating with, or if anybody's trying to use your sample, they have more room to flip things and they have more room to add whatever they want, take things out that they don't like, whatever. So since he did that, I was able to take these endings and flip them. So this sample right here is a flipped version of this part. And this is what it sounds like. And it sounds super dope. It adds like a weird ambient vibe to it. Sounds like a whale underwater just crying. So this is what it sounds like with the whole sample. Just sounds beautiful. The second part is just this part at the end reversed and with effects. So this is what it sounds like all together. So super subtle things, but you can definitely feel them in the sample. This is another one. So literally the same thing as this one, I just turned it up more, and I cut out this second half because there's notes playing in this main sample in this portion that I didn't want this reversed half to take away from. I didn't want the attention to be on the reverse part during the end. So this is what it sounds like. Like you hear these notes right here. Dum, dum, dum. If I played this whole thing, it wouldn't sound as good. It would sound kind of messy and clenched up. So this is what it sounds like. And it doesn't sound bad, but these last two notes specifically just sound like they don't need to be there. So that's the gist of this whole sample. And yeah, let's move on to the next one. So this is another simple one. This is probably one of my favorites, actually. I'm not gonna lie. So Frankie sent me this. Just a super dope, cool, catchy guitar loop, right? So I was like, what can I add to this? Because these type of loops are hard to add to because it sounds good on its own. Like, you don't want to add things that just take away from it, right? So I was like, all right, let's go find like a one shot or something. And it's a little vocal from Nico's one shot kit. So shout out to Nico. I just threw it in there and it's cool ambience. Just added reverb. And then in this sample, Frankie did the same thing where he thins out the elements and he lets you pick what you want to use. So I took the ending and I also added effects on them. Just added some delay and some reverb and other things like that. It really just enhances the bounce that's already there. I also took another portion of the sample towards the end and I just looped it over and over again. This is what it sounds like. I just put super weird effects on it. It sounds like a bunch of flanges. And then lastly, I added this harp. I just added chords with the harp and it sounds super dope. And yeah, I really just dumped effects on it too. So this is what the chords will sound like. It's super simple, catchy, and it's smooth. It's easy to listen to, not a lot of high end. It's really just easy to listen to. So this is all of it together. Crazy. That sample is crazy. That's crazy. And then it also sounds crazy with cassette on it, but I didn't want to do that because I just wanted to leave that up to you guys if you wanted to use it or not. Like, this sounds so fire with cassette on it. But I didn't want to put that on there and limit you guys to anything. But yeah, hopefully you guys learned something. I really wanted to keep this video kind of short. If you guys have any questions, feel free to DM me on IG at holdupholy. I'll put it on the screen and link will be in the description. Before you click off the video, I really didn't want to have to do this, but to sum everything up, this guy Drawings by Jag has been scamming people for artworks. He's been charging people for artworks and then he never sends them. It's happened to my friend and apparently it's happened to a couple other people. He only DM'd me back after a month and a half after I told you guys to go spam his comments to DM me back. And apparently this is what he does to multiple people. He'll take the money from you and then he'll just never answer your DMs again. And if you don't believe me, here's a bunch of screenshots of other people not getting their service from him and he just doesn't answer. Don't buy from him, you won't receive your artwork. It's been a whole month and a half. So what I need you guys to go do, and I hate doing this, I really do, go report Drawings by Jag. All you got to do is go ahead and report user, go ahead and report his account, and after you do that, send me a screenshot in my Instagram DMs and I'll send you one of my kits for free. I really hate doing this because I love supporting y'all and I love supporting smaller artists and stuff like that. Even right after this happened to me, another graphics designer hit me up and said he wanted to work, and I was like, okay, bet, but I'm gonna take precautions this time. I told him I'll do half up front and half after because the last person scammed me, blah 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 blah. And this guy is actually really cool. I sent him the payment, I told him how I wanted it, he started sending me drafts, blah 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 blah, showed me different styles he was doing, kept me updated. He constantly kept contacting me, and any changes I want he would make. So shout out to him, shout out to this guy. Make sure you go follow him, and if you want any graphics, go to this guy. I really love helping talented artists and people who really are in it just because they love it. But unfortunately, some people try to ruin that for all the other people and are just scamming people. And I hate doing it, but I'm also trying to prevent people from getting scammed. And what's crazy is that he posts on his story all the time, but he never responds to DMs, and he's constantly posting for these big artists, but when people actually decide to pay him, he won't send you your art after you paid for it, which is crazy to me, especially as a smaller artist, how you're not exchanging the service for the people that are actually paying you. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Am I overreacting? Am I bugging? Or am I trying to help the community by stopping a dude from scamming other people? If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next video.